All right, so Tara's got a new skin. She's my favorite brawler. So let's pick this skin up and see if it's really worth spending your bling or gems on. Let's get into it. All right, so as usual, we're going to kick things off with the appearance of the skin. Now, obviously, the first thing I want to point out is that Tara's color palette on this skin is red and white. Now, I think this is really unique. I don't think there's another skin that's got a color palette quite like this, and I think it looks really clean, and I'm a huge fan of it. She's got the mask on her head. It's white with a black streak through it, and she's got a red ponytail. Again, that looks really clean. I like that black streak through it. I think it's a really nice touch, and the red ponytail looks okay in my opinion. It does look a bit like an ice cream cone, but other than that, it's okay. And then they updated the mystic eye on the front of Tara. This thing is huge, and it's got 3 points to it. It's very unique compared to her other skins. Overall, I really like it a lot. I think it adds a lot to the skin. All right, moving on to her shirt. It's going to be white and red again with some black accents on the chest and sleeves, and it's got like a pattern on the arms that kind of looks like a ninja pattern. Now, this is very updated from the Street Ninja Terror skin. It looks pretty clean overall, and it's not the exact same as the Street Ninja Terror skin, which is a nice thing in my opinion. Then on the back of it, she's got a weird looking cape. It's got like 3 arrows on it that are just kind of floating there. I don't really know how I feel about this. It looks okay, like color-wise, but it's a bit weird that they're like not connected in any way or shape or form. But she is Mystic, so we'll give it a pass. And then for Tara's pants, they are white and red again with black accents on the belts and socks and her shoes. Those all look really good. It's like a super clean look. And I really like the knee pads and belts. Those were a nice touch on Street Ninja Terra, and keeping them here is a good call because they do add a little bit of flavor to the idea that she's like a street ninja. And the last thing I want to point out is her pose. She's standing there in a Gojo looking pose, doing something with her hands where they're touching, but just her index fingers are touching. And then she's got her cards floating around her too, and that's a really nice touch because it kind of makes it look like the way she's standing, she's controlling the cards, which she is because she is psychic. So overall, I really like this skin. I really like the color palette. I think it's a really nice touch, and like I said, it's pretty unique. We don't have something quite as clean like this throughout any other skins in my opinion. And then it's just got a lot of nice accents on it, like the red eye on the front, the black coloring throughout the skin that is just barely used enough to make you really like it. And then the way she's standing with the cards floating around her is a really nice touch to really emphasize that psychic look. Alrighty, now we're moving on to animations. Now for Tara's winning animation, she's gonna jump up, she's gonna pull the cards out in front of her, then she's gonna spin around with them and then shuffle them a little bit, and then she's gonna float them around her like she does in her idle pose. And then for her losing animation, she's gonna look at a hand of cards sadly, then she's gonna fold them up, and then she just sits on the ground meditating. Now overall, the animations on this skin are okay. The winning animation is really good. I like that a lot. It's pretty flashy and fun to look at, but the losing animation is a little lackluster. All she does is look at a card of hands and then sit down and meditate. It's not really the best thing in my opinion. All right, moving on to the effects of the skin. And the first thing I want to note about the skin is there's a bug right now. None of the main attacks or the super are making the correct noises that they should. I'm sure this will get patched eventually, but as of right now, they're just not working. Make sure you keep that in mind if you do pick this skin up. But as far as how the effects actually look for the main attack, the cards have the new eye on the back of them, and they have a bit of a digital effect when they disappear. Nothing crazy. Honestly, it's not really like the best effect I've seen on any skin, and I think it's a bit bad. It's a little phoned in, not gonna lie. But there is a step up with the super. You're gonna throw out the new style eye. It's gonna have a bit of a digital design to it, and then when it lands, the black hole is gonna be pink and purple with a bunch of digital like effects going through it, and it's not gonna be an even black hole. It's a bit like wild. There's also a card that floats around the outside of it, and the middle of it has that new eye right in the middle of it. Looks really good. So yeah, overall, the super is pretty flashy, and I'm a fan of that, at least. So I'm a bit mixed on the effects of the skin. The super is pretty flashy, and I do like that quite a bit, but the main attack is very boring in my opinion, and I don't love it. All right, so now's the part of the video where I yap for a few minutes about whether I think the skin is worth 5,000 bling, 149 gems, and if you should pick it up or not. All right, let's get into that. Real quick, let's just recap everything I said about the skin, starting off with the design. I really like the design of the skin. I think they nailed it. I think that it is probably one of the better looking skin I've seen in a little while. The color palette is really clean. I really like the white and red, and then the black accents really add to that. On top of that, she's also standing in a really cool pose with the cards floating around her. Overall, it's just very sick. She looks really psychic, and it's just like a really good looking package overall. But as far as animations go, the animations are a bit weak in my opinion. I do like the winning animation. That's pretty flashy and fun to look at. I've watched it a couple of times now, and I really like it. But the losing animation kind of sucks. It feels a little bit phoned in. All she does is look at a stack of cards, then gets sad and meditates. It's kind of boring, and I know people normally rush through their losing screens anyway, so it's not that big a deal, but I do like to see something a little bit more fun to watch. Something like Poop Spike, for an example, is fun to watch. And then it's a very similar story with the effects on the skin. Now, like I said, there is a issue right now with the attacks and the super not making the correct sounds. That'll get patched out eventually, I'm sure, but as of right now, just keep that in mind if you do pick up the skin. And as far as the actual effects go, like I said, I feel like the main attack is a bit boring. I see what they were going for. They wanted to do like a very similar version to Street Ninja Tara, but a little upgraded, and it is a little bit better than that, but for as far as a 5K bling skin goes, it just feels a bit boring in my opinion. The super is really nice though. Like I said, I really like the super. It's very flashy. There's a lot of small details in it, from the eye actually having like a different shape when she throws it out, to the way the black hole actually looks, how it's like not a straight circle, it's just a little irregular, and then there's cards floating around it, and there's like the pixels on the inside. The super looks really good in my opinion. So really the only thing they knocked out of the park with this skin was the design. Everything else is kind of like 50-50. Like you get one good thing and one bad thing. And in my opinion, it's just like not the best package overall. Now, I'm not saying I don't like this skin. I do like this skin. I will probably switch to it every once in a while, but I don't think it's Tara's best skin, especially if you like just want to buy one skin for the brawler. I think there's better options. In my opinion, if you're considering picking up a Tara skin, if you're going to spend gems, I would go with Rage Quit Tara. I think the effects on that skin are way better and the animations are just as good. So yeah, I think that skin is a little bit more worth your gems. And if you're going to go with bling, then I would go with Tempest Tara, because Tempest Tara has way better effects on it and the animations are actually both really good. So I think that Tempest Tara is a little bit better value for bling, and I think that Rage Quit Tara is a little bit better value for gems. But again, if you do like Urban Ninja Tara, then you should 100% pick it up. It's a very good looking skin, and if you can overlook some of the like small things like the losing animation not being quite as flashy, or the main attack just kind of being whatever, then yeah, it's a good skin, but I don't think it's Tara's best skin by any means. So I would consider another option if you only want to buy one skin. But hey, that's just my opinion. So let me know what you think about Urban Ninja Tara down in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this review or not. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video. And if you're new, consider dropping a sub as well. But that's going to do it for this one. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.